More discussion on the Israel-Palestine war, especially the discussion to push for ceasefire between Israel and Hamas. Global Affairs analyst Kunle Falowo joins me from the United States. Thank you for joining us on World Now. Well, it's good to know that this is the U.S. Secretary of State Antony Blinken's sixth trip to the Middle East in hopes to secure a ceasefire in Gaza. Do you see any prospects?
Thanks for having me. So this is a great development. This is, we're glad that it's happening because we need more negotiations and conversations going on to make sure that we find a lasting peace to the war between Israel and the people of Gaza. Diplomatic negotiations and conversations are going on at the smallest areas and the biggest areas too. We're seeing that diplomats are working, people are having these conversations and negotiations, which is a positive step into a slow and painstakingly, long step to achieving the much needed help and like I said before, a lasting peace to that region. Having said that, let me say that at the initial stage, it's more of negotiations to, first of all, protecting the lives of people that has been people of Gaza. They're staying in Rafah, in the Rafah area, because as it is, we're getting reports that the Israeli team are getting ready to bombard Rafah, and this is where approximately about 1.5 million people are sheltering. And how can you protect the people of the ordinary citizens in Rafah, where they're seeking shelter, in a bid to eliminate Hamas? That's going to be catastrophic, and we're glad that we're having these conversations. And I'm optimistic that this would, will bring out a positive result for everyone to see.
Just as you mentioned, Rafah rather, in Gaza's south is currently under siege. And we know that Israel has ordered an evacuation of the entire Al-Shifa hospital, which has actually provided shelter to many displaced and injured Palestinian citizens. How do you see this affect the ongoing war and efforts to make peace?
A lot of people do tend to forget that Gaza, the entire population of Gaza, is about 2 million people. And already been stated in the report that it's about 31,000 people are already dead, amongst which majority of them are women and children. And that's the most vulnerable population so far. The entire Israeli team are not making enough efforts to protect ordinary civilians in Gaza. And that is problematic because we're getting into an election year. The Democrats are very uneasy about the way that Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu and his security team are going about trying to eliminate Hamas from Gaza. And this is painting a bad picture on the Democrat, particularly President Joe Biden. And all hands, must be in deck now because public discussions are not tend to favor the Democrats right now because a lot of Americans are not impressed by the way President Joe Biden has been handling the crisis between the Israeli side and people of Gaza. So be that as it may, Antony Blinken has a lot of work to do to make sure that they score some great success and they could show it as evidence that they have a handle over the crisis in that region.
It's been about 6 months now since this war in the Gaza Strip, and we have heard the Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu say he is going all out until all of the Hamas strongholds are destroyed, and nothing is heard again about Hamas. But is that really possible? Because there are those who have said that Hamas isn't just about a set of people; it's an ideology.
Absolutely. I couldn't agree less. So with the way things are, we just have to understand that Benjamin Netanyahu, he's a strong leader in Israel, and some of those principles that he holds dear to might be contestable because when you're looking at the entire population of people, it is not possible, and it is not. There's no international law that will support you to eliminate the entire people of Gaza or to wipe out an entire population because of a set of people. Like I said, Gazans are not all Hamas, and I'm definitely sure that not a lot of not it's not the majority of Gazans that are in support of the Hamas team or the Hamas military team, but trying to eliminate the entire population, it's not justifiable. And I will also say that Israeli team, they've got a lot of problems and they've got a lot of confusions because the Hamas military folks are, camouflaged and operate right in the middle of the civilians, and that's problematic, and that's where the confusion is coming from because you cannot identify who is a mass and who is not, and that's what a lot of people are saying, that there needs to be a way that you can carry out all this war and still protect innocent citizens. By international law, they should be protected, and that's where we are now.
And then finally, do you think that world leaders are actually doing enough to achieve peace in the Gaza Strip?
Unfortunately, they seem to be playing a lot of lip services to this war, and there's so many undertones to what's going on. But when we see that negotiations are going on, that is a positive a step in the right direction. And until and unless we all agree to, first of all, cessation of hostilities and conflicts and release of hostages from both sides, from the Hamas and the Israeli side, and then let's negotiate about how to find a lasting solution to that crisis. There's the two-state agenda has been thrown out there, and it's been gathering a lot of support. So we need to find people that are looking for lasting solutions. And I'm also proud to see that officials in Israel, top security officials in Israel, are coming into Washington to discuss about these negotiations and how they can find lasting solutions to this crisis. And it's like I said, it's a step in the right direction.
All right, then.